All right, all right, all right. We are on Archbishop.
All right, welcome to Living Your Truth. Your life starts with your reality. Hey, Chantel, how are you today?
I'm amazing. How are you, sir?
I am doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking.
Yes, of course, of course, of course. So what do you have for me today?
All right. Listen, I'm excited about our first pilot podcast. And I'm equally excited that you consented to be a part of the Living Your Truth podcast. And so go ahead and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So, you guys, my name is Chantel Long. I have been an entrepreneur for, I would say, 20 years now. I'm telling my age at this point, but just about 20 years. I've been in the ministry lightly over, I would say, the last year, stepping into my actual purpose and calling. So that's definitely how me and Archbishop collaborated and began to work together and do conversations that led to this amazing podcast. So that's me. I'm a mom, mom, daughter of the Most High, So that's really all. I work and I enjoy what I do. I enjoy life. I enjoy having the opportunity to get up every morning and walk my walk every day.
All right. And certainly thank you, Chantel. And of course, those who are watching us, I know that we are live on Facebook. And those who are going to be watching, please like, share, and tag. And I know that we have, how many of these we're doing live? About 3 before we start sending all the traffic over to the YouTube channel.
Yes, sir. We are doing about 3 sessions. So jump in, join in, whatever hot topics that you would like us to engage about, let us know. But we are definitely going to share our truth.
Yes, because truth leads to freedom, and freedom leads to a happy life. Well,
Yeah.
let's jump right in on today as individuals, of course, are coming in. Listen, there are 2 hot topics that I want to discuss today with you, and hopefully, our truth will lead to the freedom of thinking of those who are viewing us and watching us on today. Did you see the video that was released on yesterday dealing with Ruth and Naomi?
Yeah, you just gonna jump right in there. Yes, sir. Let's share that video, but I definitely want to hear your take on this.
All right.
Okay, y'all, we have a video we want to go ahead and present to you really quick, and then we'll jump into this hot topic about living your truth.
Probably by people who don't even read the Bible. Number one, Ruth and Naomi. Ruth and Naomi. Ruth and Naomi were in a same-sex lesbian relationship. Look how quiet it got in here. I'm trying to sit down. But for all of you that grew up in these classes being taught to wait on your Boaz, that God is going to send Ruth her Boaz, God sent Ruth Naomi. When you read the vows and the covenants that they made with each other, they are vows that we still use today in marriage ceremonies. She said, wherever you go, I will go. Your God will be my God. There are even references, and I don't have time to do this. We don't do this in this teaching. We have a teaching where we do break down these scriptures. But there are references that demonstrate that they had a sexual relationship. I'll even take it further. For all of y'all that talking about some Ruth and Boaz are the examples of for single women. Ruth got Boaz drunk. Ruth got Boaz drunk, had sex with him for the sake of having a baby. And in the text, it does not say Ruth and Boaz's baby. It says Naomi's baby. Boaz was a sperm donor. That's called surrogacy.
Love it.
I was just getting ready to say I've had enough.
Ow.
I was just getting ready to say I've had enough. Cut the video, stop it, destroy it too as well. But I was just going to say I've had enough. So let's talk about that again, because I think individuals know it's quite obvious. Obviously, as you have already stated, that you're in ministry. We are preachers. I'm, of course, a bishop, and certainly, and congratulations, because I know in Miami you're going to be affirmed and given your minister license. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And all right, I see some of the comments that are coming in. Archbishop Prophetess, is that my wife, Prophetess Owens?
No, that's she.
That you said that's what? Oh, Shriek. All right, wonderful. All right, wonderful. So let's talk about what it is that we just heard, because, and I know we only have limited time, but I think when in such a social media generation, we have to be very careful that we are protectors and guardians of the truth. Again, and we did not get a chance to really even deal with this yet. And I'm so excited about this podcast because, people coined that phrase a couple years ago, hey, I'm living my truth. Number one, what does that mean? Because what if your truth contradicts with the truth? And so it's like the old saying, there's always three sides to the story. It's your side, their side, and then it's the truth, or the true side of it. Right. And so, what happens when an individual is so gun-ho and say, hey, this is my truth, this is who I am, but who they are is not the best of who God created them to be. And so I think we see that in some of the TikTok videos and some of the Facebook videos, and just in all of what we're seeing, this array of individual opinions that they're morphing it into, this is truth. So what do you got to say about the video on what you said on, and yes, and let me say this, as we're podcasting and as we're moving forward to get the 1 million subscribers to KGM, Kingdom Global Media, let me say that we love everybody. We absolutely love everybody. We love heterosexuals, homosexuals, lesbians, same gender loving people. But again, I think something like this that everyone is being exposed to and it's being talked about right now, I think we have to speak to it.
I thank you for that intro. And like you said, we love everybody. I love everybody, but I love the truth more. I love the word of God. I love what he said in his word. And I know that perspective is a big, play, perspective, because I cannot change your perspective. If that's your perspective and that's how you see it, that's how you see it. But I have to walk in my truth and see it how I see it. And I definitely feel like a lot of what you just said with the TikToks and the social medias, it's easy for someone to try to change or, alter your perspective. And so that's why I feel like it's so important for you to understand your light. And I'm not just talking about this video, but understand who you are. And that's kind of having to do with the self-awareness, not accepting so many things. Some people are looking for the answers and they're looking through someone else's opinion, as opposed to taking the time to research and find their truth or find the truth. And so if you remember back in the day, the only way that we can kind of get the truth was we knew how to go to the library, we knew how to research, we knew how to get in the word, we had to study. But now there's so much access to everything that I feel like it's starting to clog people's perspective and their understanding. So what he said, I mean, I can't go with it. Again, that's my opinion, that I cannot go with it. But I definitely felt like he was convincing enough because he believed it. So for some of these young people that really don't know their truth or know the truth, they're going to receive, and not saying they are, but some of them can receive that as truth, because they're looking at him as an older gentleman. He knows he's sitting up there on the stage, and he made the stage look good with the word, with the Bible, and he's speaking maybe his truth, not knowing where that came from. Just like I talked about the serpent, and he was talking to Eve, And well, y'all know I'm always taking back to the word. Sorry, you guys. But he was talking to Eve and he was able to deceive her. He was able to convince her of his truth and not necessarily her truth or the truth that she's supposed to know. So, that's my take on it. I don't know if I really answered that. But you can kind of chime.
So can you answer it? Was Naomi and Ruth lesbians?
From what I've read,
say it for everybody in the front of the bus, in the middle of the bus, in the back of the bus. Say it for everybody. Were they lesbians? Yes or no?
No, they were not lesbians. Based off of my truth and what I've read from the word, no, they were not lesbians.
So a lot of things, you just said something that's very, very crucial. Optics. Mm-hmm. This generation sows into optics. Mm-hmm. The way things look, mm-hmm. or the way things are perceived can trick individuals into believing something that is totally not true. So optics can be very, very dangerous if individuals are not going behind the optics of things. I think that, when we talk about issues like same-sex loving couples and gender situations, LGBTQ. Again, one of the things I always say that I'm not trying to change anybody, but what I'm trying to do is convert everybody. Mm-hmm. Conversion and change is two different things. Mm-hmm. See, if I change you, you can change back. Mm-hmm. But if God converts you, you won't go back.
Come on.
And so I think and this all goes into what you said, that he's there. The optics are good. The stage is good. He has a Bible, mm-hmm. and he seemingly knows what he's talking about. And so now he's changing the mind and the thought pattern of individuals who are he's elevated in an elevated place. So now this already puts him in a place of making individuals who are there feel like he knows what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. So the optics is really greater than the truth. Mm-hmm. And I think that's those are two things, again, that we have to deal with even in this day and time. And I think the older generation, they said it, that the grass is not always greener on the other side, but the optics will make it seem as though it's greener on the other side, and everything that shine isn't gold. And so I think that is that video is just it's sad. It's heart-wrenching, devastating, because again, you will have a bunch of people who have not studied for themselves that will sow into the optics of that message and allow it to change their belief. And so again, that's why I always say, listen, I'm not trying to change anybody, but I'm trying to convert everybody. And I let God do the converting, because if I change you, you then will have the option, desire, or the appetite maybe to go back or to change back to what you're really supposed to be converted from.
All right, teach us then, Art. I hear you. That's good. That's a word.
Just really, because we have to be, and I don't want to get fired as soon as we don't got the contract with KGM, with Kingdom Global Media. I do want to say it is a Christian broadcast network platform. So I don't want to get fired by the man upstairs. So I thought that, again, those type of positions that we really need to throw out, and we really need to speak to. You can love what, and again, Miss Long, let me not try to use the churchy titles. You can love whoever you want to love,
right?
But I think the song says it better when the song says, when loving you is wrong, I don't want to be right. Oh no. Oh no. I gotta be right. So again, that's an indicator right there that you can love the wrong people. And there are some people that have put up with that, and they make those decisions and sow into the optics, and say, hey, this is just what I want. This is what my appetite has a yielding or a yearning for.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's so good, because I mean, even when you talk about loving the wrong thing. Or it makes me think about, some marriages, and they have the illusion that it's good. They make it look good. And you're so I see some people saying, oh, what they say now, marriage goals and couples goals, and you're not even understanding what that person is really going through in the inside. So sometimes they'll allow the illusion of a thing, the illusion that we're the perfect couple, to seem right when it's really wrong. And so you don't really know anything behind, what's behind those closed doors. But because the societal norm, you're staying in a situation that may not be right for you, but you're going to stay there because society said, oh, you're doing the right thing, or you look perfect, or this is the right situation, so you stay there. So I think us really learning our place, really being self-aware of who we are. We're not praying or begging God for something that's not even right. And I know we kind of switched gears from this topic of what he was saying, that he built this illusion that, okay, Ruth and Naomi was, lesbians. But I feel like people do the same thing. They set a standard and they set a topic on other situations and make it seem like it's right when it's not necessarily right. They make it their perspective and how they want it to look.
Here's the thing I say, and that was great what you just said. Life has hard moments. Life has challenging moments. And I think that even when you speak about marriage, I always tell people that marriage does not have to be hard. Life does not have to be hard. Life is, again, it's the old saying. It's not a churchy saying, but it's just a saying that I guess somebody came up with. Life is what you make it. Life really is what you make it. If life give you lemons, do what? Make lemonades. I guess if it gave you tomato, make tomato juice. I ain't never drunk tomato juice, but I guess whatever it gives you. And so, but I think that you just said something that was very key. And one of our hopes with the with this platform is that we would help individuals live the real truth. Because I think we talked about it a few months ago, the whole Diddy situation and the whole domestic abuse. How many wives are being beat? And I've talked to women who said, well, you know what? This is just my truth. And that's the sad breach of what truth is not. That's not. You have taken on a false reality, because no woman deserves to be beat, hit their head. But again, they feel like, well, he takes care of me. He's pretty much a good man, but he got that one thing. He just gets angry sometimes. And so then he puts his hand on me. And you will find people that will then say stuff like, again, this is my truth. I'm living it. Right. But my question becomes, is that really your truth? Or is that just the truth that you have decided to settle with and to settle for? Because I don't think that that's God's best for you.
Right. And I see Wanda Bullock said marriage isn't hard, but it's work. And so my thing, and I want to go back to what you were saying with the hard part, which is so good. Even if it's hard, and even if I made a decision for it to be hard with this person, this that I love, with my mate, with my companion, with my husband, even if it's hard between us and we're not doing it for the world, I'm okay with that kind of hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay when we're struggling and we're thriving and we're working, just like Ms. Bullock just said, that we're working together. It's hard because we're getting from point A to point B to point C. That's a different kind of hard, and I get it. But the hard that I don't want to live is this, like you said, this illusion where I'm acting like it's great. And I'm not living my truth. I'm doing it because everybody else said stay there, because everybody else is saying, oh, he's so perfect because he's a Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I'm saying? And one minute he's, in front of people, he's all perfect. And then behind closed doors, he's something else. So now I'm no longer walking in my truth. I'm now walking in the truth of other people just to say that I got a mate, I got a companion. And so that becomes the issue. Not that it's a hard relationship, not that it's a hard marriage, not that it takes work, but it's when I'm staying there, like you just said, somebody beat me upside my head, but because everybody's saying she need to stay with this person, they stay. That's a different kind of, walk. That's a different kind of hard. So I'm definitely Whew, we're going somewhere with this. Like, I promise you guys, we're going somewhere with this of the self-awareness of walking, being self-aware of living in your truth, of just taking a moment to look at things and not have to do what the societal norms are telling us to do. That's really, really what I want people to really understand throughout the topics that we're talking about.
So, and let me say this, though there are, again, because of course we don't make a blanket statement for everyone. There are certainly Christian podcasters out there. But one of the things that I think that will be so beneficial to this podcast and to this particular show is that everything that we do will always be found in the foundation of God's word. And I think that the Bible says it clearly that the way of the transgressor is hard. And so I keep telling people, again, life is what you make it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference between hard and challenge. I think even with that, and that's something that I always tell people, you have to understand, there's a difference between confusion and challenge. And so you have to be able to decipher, hey, if what I'm doing, is it a hard thing or is it a challenging thing? Those are two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, the Bible says the way of the transgressor is hard. And if I'm not a transgressor, or if I'm not operating in untruth or sin or missing the mark, then a challenge is totally different from a hard thing. So he who operates in transgression or in error, then their life will become hard. But he who operates in the will of God, things will move accordingly, not necessarily without challenge, but you'll be able to get over those hurdles. And so I think that, again, as we bring this podcast and these episodes to individuals, my expectations is to help individuals get free and to walk in the truth, and not just to live their truth, which are two different truths.
Amen. That's good. Amen.
Yeah, and so that's that. Again, I know I told you we wanted to just talk about really two big hot topics. Are you done with that? You want to speak anything else to that? You want to speak, and there's so much going on. I tell you this, because I want to use all of our time. Okay, all right. Nadine Owens, that's my wife.
There you go.
I'm sorry. I don't want to be fired by the network. Hey, wife. All right, let me not say that again. All right. I'm excited about our network. Amen. Because we're going to have 1 million subscribers. Let me say this. Is there anything else that you want to say about that? Again, I can tell you this in conversation. I felt some type of way. My son, who's in his last year of school, he walked in, Chantel, the other day, and there's so much that's going on in our society that is just not true. Mm-hmm. That I think that we need that, and that people need answers, remedies, and solutions, mm-hmm. and they want to know how to get the help. So maybe I won't go there right now, because again, when we start talking about the truth of, I don't think you can call me Bay in the comments, hon, because I don't want to be fired by upper management from KGM. So
so cute. Look at that. Oh,
hey, sweetie. So again, my son, he walked in the other day, Chantel, and maybe you can speak to this. He says, "Hey, Dad," he says, there's been a law that has been passed now that that men can go into women bathrooms now. And he was very bothered by it. And so he says, how do I deal with individuals who are living that type of truth? And I know you're going to have an answer for that. He says, how do I deal with that? He says, how do I deal with now that they have even put women products in the boys' bathroom? Because now if a woman feels like she's a man, she can go in that bathroom. How do you do it? How do you speak to that? How do you, because you have children.
Yes. I definitely have children, and I feel like we're going to have a community that rises up. And when I say rise up, I mean we're going to have the people to stand up and be protectors as well. So imagine if somebody was disguised. They're saying that they, because you'll have people that then will act like they're one way so that they can get into the bathroom with, with girls or boys or whatever the case may be. And so I feel like we're going to have a community. And I think I posted and talked about it. We still need a village. We need a village that's going to rise up and stand up. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if my daughter was to go into my daughter was to go into a bathroom and someone else went in the bathroom with her, as saying they're a woman, but let's say they're really a man and they're trying to get her. We need to have a space that, first of all, we're aware of our environment. We know what's going on. And thank you, Prophetess Michelle, a community of people to stand up. And so I hate to detour to another story, but I have to relate this. So one day I was driving in the car, and it was a I hate to say it, it's a Caucasian man, and he was harassing me. I don't know what happened. He was blowing a horn. He was doing just crazy stuff. But all of a sudden there was a big truck that stopped, and it was an African American man, and he looked at him and let him know, not today. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're going to need a community of people that, even if that might not be your mom, but it could be your mom. That's not your daughter, but it could be your daughter. I feel like we need a community that's going to be willing to stand up and protect, even if it's not your child. Be willing to protect and stand up and rise up and watch over all of our children as though that's my child too. That's my baby too. So I'm going to watch your child just as much as I'm going to watch my child. So I think it's time for us not to just talk about it, but for us to rise up as a community and do a little bit more, as opposed to lying down, accepting the new norms and accepting the things that does not make sense or does not look right, as opposed to we complaining about it. And I'm not saying we got to step up and go to war, but we're stepping up saying we're still going to protect our loved ones and other people's children. I'm watching over them. I'm making sure that you as a man is not coming in here to hurt or harm my son or my daughter or your daughter. We have to look at it as we're all together in this.
So remember something that I told you in the I guess closer in the beginning. Remember I told you that I'm not in this to change anybody. Mm-hmm. But I'm in this to convert everybody. Mm-hmm. Because when you start changing people and persuading them, then you create things that were never supposed to be created. Mm-hmm. So one of the things and I think that the church has to do a better job at speaking to these type of issues in love, but with in intelligence as well. Mm-hmm. And to simply say, one of the things I told my son, Caleb, and again, I'm very transparent with my sons. I don't preach at them. I have two sons, Devin and Caleb, 119. Caleb will be 18 on Friday. And I talk with them in a way that's relatable. Hey, point blank, that God doesn't make mistakes. Mm-hmm. When God made a little boy, he made a little boy. When God made a little girl, he made a little girl. Now, again, this goes into my theory about when we start changing people or letting people change themselves, then things start getting all out of whack. Mm-hmm. And so, my thing to my son was respect everybody, but certainly stand on your principles and stand on the morals of what you have been taught and what to be foundational teaching that comes from the Word of God. And so again, I think that because I think Big Mama said it best. A lot of things that we quote certainly was not in the Bible, but Big Mama said it. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And so it's just not good enough to say, like you just said, village. So when we start talking about village, a village is there to protect people. Right. A village is there to guide and to lead individuals. And so what are you protecting individuals from? And what truth are you speaking to individuals to keep them from false narratives, false lies, and optics, as we initially said. So that's good, as you said, about raising up the village again. And I think that these are things that we need to talk about from a church standpoint of view. And I think that the church is a great place, a good place, but I also think the church needs to have a greater voice within the marketplace.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so it's time for the commercial. Can I do the commercial now?
Yes, you did the commercial.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. We want to make an announcement as it relates to our 7M Synergy Prayer and Business Conference that is going to be happening December 3rd through the 6th. That is going to be held in South Florida, sunny Florida, December 3rd through the 6th. You can register now. There will be a link that will be found in the bottom. Maybe not today, but in days to come. But there again, we want everybody to make sure that they understand that there's a great conference that's going to be happening in South Florida. These comments are coming across now. Now they're getting my attention. I hope you're reading them,
Yeah.
Chantel. So there again, we want to just advertise the 7M Synergy Conference that is going to be December 3rd through the 6th. In South Florida, and it is going to be an awesome experience. What did I miss? I seen we had a couple comments that came through.
I've seen some people just kind of ad-lib amen. Prophetess Owen stated this pretty much is the issues. Thank you. These issues are devices of the adversary to usurp the ultimate will of God. Is it to usurp the ultimate will of God? It was a question mark. I don't know if that was an exclamation.
To usurp the ultimate will of God? Question mark or explanation? Yes, of course. Those issues certainly are issues that challenges the divine authority of God and what God has done. And so absolutely, Prophetess Owens.
And I think that was great because I kind of spoke about that on my live today. Because we know in the direction that I'm talking about is God knows everything and he knows what's going on. He knows how the enemy will try to use one thing, but God can take that one thing and work it out for the good, not just for your good, but for the good of all, for the good of his purpose, for the good of his will. So, like I said, I don't know if that was a question mark, but for God's ultimate will be done. And even if he has to use the enemy, he can use anything and everybody. So I definitely feel like he will use anything and everybody for his ultimate will and his ultimate purpose here on this earth. I definitely feel like she said it was an exclamation. Thank you. Well, that's chiming in exactly. Yes, that's exactly what God will do it and use it. That his will be felt and his will be done.
We got about 15 minutes left. Let's talk about that second topic.
Oh goodness. Okay, jump on in.
Well, we don't live in the cave. We live in the world. We live in the marketplace. We know what's going on in the world. And just like when Super Bowls come, All-Star games come, championship games come, tonight is the big debate. And I think that it is something from this Living Your Truth podcast that we have to address. Because people are looking to hear our thoughts and looking to, hear what it is that we're going to say, or are they even going to say something? How can we live truth and speak truth, but not speak truth to power and not just speak to, what tonight is? And so I got a few questions here for you. As individuals are going to go to listen and to watch the debate again, some individuals mine's already made up for the presidential run. I keep it very simple. So don't you breaking the sweat right there. I keep it very. I keep it,
what you gonna say?
I keep it very simple. A lot has gone on in politics, and the older that I get, I was sharing this with somebody, the more I understand now. Mm-hmm. I wasn't thinking about politics when I was 19, or I wasn't thinking about certain things when I was 20 and even 30. But now that I'm 40, yes, I'm looking at taxes. I'm looking at, what's the best party to vote with. Of course, I don't vote. I don't vote out of emotions. I vote what aligns with my convictions and what aligns with where it is that I'm going or my family. And so, again, a lot is going on. Of course, President Biden, who I think who is a phenomenal man, and it is a testament to a person who just never stopped. President Biden has been in the Senate for well over 30 years. He ran for president several times, and he finally made it this last time. So again, I can take something good from every party, whether they're Democrat or whether they're Republican. I think that President Biden showed us, hey, don't give up on your dreams. Because again, he ran for president back in the 80s, came back and ran, and it finally happened for him in 2020. So I think he symbolized not what it means not to give up. Of course, we kind of know what happened. Um, he just could not. The Democrat Party felt like he couldn't do the job any longer, so they got Kamala Harris, his VP, to run now. Of course, and she's running against the former President Donald J. Trump. I think one of the things that have been going on that we cannot ignore, and one of the things I've always told you, Chantel, is that you have two type of individuals in the community. You have a lover of their individuals who are lover of their people, or individuals who are leaders to their people, or they can be both. I say that I'm a lover of my community, speaking to the African American community, and I'm a leader to my community as well. So I think that with that being said, that there are just things that we have to speak to with being African Americans. And one of the big issues that I think that has been raised, and I ask you because you're a female, you're a sister, is that should you vote for Kamala Harris because she's a woman and because she's a sister?
Should you vote for her because of those reasons? Definitely not. I mean, and again, I'm living in my truth. I feel like you should vote, and I believe we spoke about it early. I feel like do your homework, do your research, get some understanding, get some knowledge into what benefits you and your family the most. Whatever political thing that's gonna benefit you and your family. Figure out who aligns. And I think you said that, figure out who aligns more with your beliefs in the direction that you want to see ultimately happen here on this earth. So I have my own business, and you guys know that. And I used to hear people say, oh, well, support Black businesses. And my motto was, no, support me because I'm quality. Support me because I'm a business of quality. I'm going to give you a quality service that I owe you, and not support me because I'm a Black business. And I promise you, I would say that on a repeat basis. And I worked up my business, because not saying I was the best when I first started, but that was my ultimate goal in childcare.
Did you come in late? Did you come to work late?
No. But that was always my goal. My goal was.
Did you come to work with rollers in your hair?
Never. Never. Because they were always looking. I had people that literally stood next to us. So it was never because I was a Black business that I felt like you should come to me. And so I feel like it's the same thing with Miss Harris. Don't vote for her because she's a woman or because she's Black. Vote for her because you are standing behind her stances. You're standing behind all the things that she's talking about. And if you don't stand behind it, then I would tell anybody all day, don't vote that either. So that's just my take on it. I love my Black women, though. I love us, but we have to stand up, and a lot of us do. A lot of us stand up, and a lot of us are educated. A lot of us have learned, and there's a reason why you should support us because we're showing excellence in all that we do.
Wow, that's powerful, and thank you. Wanda E. Bullock says, "I have a business. It's not my Black job."
Come on.
Yeah, so again, that's powerful. And I wanted you to speak to that because again, you are a woman, and you are an African American woman, and I think that again, we should never get caught up in the hype of things, because being caught up in the hype of things, we talked about it, the optics, how things look, and so I think that we need to be more caught up in the substance of things versus how things look. And that's just where I stand with it. Again, I'm looking forward to the debate on tonight. I'm going to have a debate party, and with me, my wife, and my kids, and my two puppies, and we're going to have good, healthy food. But it's going to be a debate party. We're going to sit there and we're going to listen, because I want to hear clearly what each candidate is articulating, without the optics of what the news has said about Ms. Harris or what they have said about Mr. Trump. Because again, when you start dealing with people biases, they will they will change the optics, and they will change things to try to persuade you to go one way when it's really not good for you to go that way. So thank you for being truthful and transparent, and opening up yourself to say that. Don't just support people because they are a Black business, but support them because they have substance and they have something to offer.
Yes.
All right. You have any questions for me concerning that?
So, I mean, what was your take on it? What was your answer? I gave mine, and I think you said the same thing. You're just going to do your research, and
Yeah,
so
absolutely. Research is key. And I see we have accountability principles that align with God, will for community, families, and individuals who want to grow healthy environments. While we have to have standards of accountability. That's good, Billiquist. Again, I think for me, Chantel, that which let me not even just say just me, anybody, whichever way anybody votes, they should never feel bullied. They should never feel bad. They should never feel shamed because of the convictions that they have that they vote. So, but as it relates to me, my personal beliefs, I'm going to vote for who aligns with my convictions, my belief, and the way that I think and the way that I foresee the future of America, to make America great again.
Okay. Well, and just if anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop it in the feed. If you guys would like to hear our responses on anything that was said, my last takeaway, I know we're coming in on time and people have a busy schedule, but realize and understand that this is a unique journey for you. Whatever we give, whatever feedback we give, it's in general, but I want you guys to realize and understand that everyone has their own unique journey, and whatever works for you is for you. We're not, like Arch said, we're not trying to change. We're not trying to change you. We're just creating a platform to create awareness and help you not get so caught up with societal expectations and the glamour and the lights of the world, but help you actually have a fulfilling life. And I think it's so important in what Arch stated about you are responsible for you. You are responsible for enjoying your life. No one else is responsible for making sure that you're happy. You can make anything. You could take a bad thing and still have fun right where it is. So I definitely am. And for that, I've walked by that. I've lived by that. That I enjoy every single day, not because it's a perfect day, but I enjoy every single day because my perspective is to see the great parts, optimistic about what's in the future for me. So again, everybody has their own unique journey.
Yes, they do. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you to those who are on. Again, all things KGM. We will be releasing all of the platforms that you can follow on. We need to get to 1 million subscribers. And we have some other things that we're going to be doing with the KGM platform that is literally going to bless your life. I'm so thankful for Chantel Long, who is the president of Powered by Prayer, and who is also a CEO of Learning Center. And God is using her in the marketplace as well as in the kingdom. And so thank you, Chantel, for partnering with KGM. Thank you that we're going to see this platform built up, and we're going to see white folk, Black folk, we're going to see Latino folk, we're going to see all color of individuals on this platform. And so just watch out, because what's getting ready to come is going to be so great as we talk about living your truth. Remember this, your life starts with reality. And so we want you to live that truth. And we look forward to seeing you next week. At what time, Chantel?
Next week at 12:30, same time, lunchtime break.
All right. You're supposed to say same time, same bat channel. All right. Thank you all. So many of you. All right. Thank you all for watching the podcast. There again, we will be released. This is our first one. This is a pilot, and we will be getting ready to release the YouTube channel as well as the Facebook page. God bless everyone.